to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a very good day. Today on the Cinementalists, we celebrate the holiday with A Christmas Story, released on November 18th, 1983, written for the screen by Bob Clark and Leigh Brown, based on the novel by Jean Shepherd, not sure one way or another, but the novel, kind of a hard title, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. That's kind of dope. Directed by Bob Clark. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, homie. It's an extra pleasure to be here today. It feels extra right.
It does feel extra right. And you know, we're doing things even more festively. We don't get to do this often where we record and something will be put out the next day. We're recording on Christmas Eve about a Christmas movie and about a Christmas story, no less. And that just feels right. I'm sipping a peppermint mocha spiked with Baileys. Like, let's fucking go. I feel so warm and fuzzy. I'm celebrating for real. How'd you feel about A Christmas Story? Give me a little bit of a history with this movie for you. I know everyone who has access to television the last 20 years is at least somewhat familiar with it.
Yeah, for sure. And I say first viewing with an asterisk, because it's like I was talking to my family, and I guess this was on the television went over my grandparents' house Christmas Day. Whenever we went over there, just in the background,
the 24-hour loop on TNT, baby. And I don't know how long that's been going on, but it's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah. So I don't. When I was watching this movie, I don't remember like a single thing like of the movie whatsoever. And no scene was like familiar. So this was truly a first viewing. I mean, there were some shots, like iconic shots that I knew, or like the leg lamp, I guess I knew of, but I didn't know it did come from this movie. So like, yeah, one of the most, I guess, iconic scenes of the movie, or props of the movie, I had no clue it actually had ties to it. But so yeah, it was a very, very much so a first viewing, and I think it was at a very interesting state of mind as well. I think most people have this first viewing whenever they're very, very young.
Right.
And I don't know, you just sit down in front of the TV, and I don't know how I would take this movie as a kid, honestly.
No, it's interesting because, you know, I have a very different history with the movie. This is a movie that every single scene I'm familiar with. Like, there's not a scene in the movie I do not remember. I know so many lines from the movie. It's ridiculous. They get quoted every Christmas. It's a deeply, deeply important Christmas movie to my dad. And even most specifically to my dad's side of the family. Like, him and my uncle will quote it to each other all day today, I should say. My grandpa will get in on the action, and my grandpa's not a big movie guy. It's not like he's a big movie buff or anything. So like, I think I don't hear him quote movies aside from this, really, which is pretty funny. So I mean, I grew up on this, but not in a voluntary sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was younger, I didn't really want to watch A Christmas Story. It wasn't something that I was excited about, you know, and it's because when you're younger, you don't, it felt so old. It felt so old when I was younger. I was like, oh my God, like this is it felt boring. It felt like I was like, oh my God, I could be doing so much more with my time than watching A Christmas Story. And it's so funny because, like I said, it's been on for years on Christmas Day, so I know all the scenes. I know everything. This was the first time, probably since the first time I watched it, that I paid attention and watched it sequentially. And man, I really appreciate it. I think that there's something interesting. I talked to my dad about this last night after I watched it, where as a kid, you kind of watch it and go, this is kind of bullshit. You know, like this is kind of bullshit. This is nothing like what my life is like. And you watch it now and you go, this is exactly what being a kid is like. And it's so funny because that's the lens the movie is told through, you know, like it's a narrator looking back at his childhood and everything, like literally everything, not even just his visions, has the sheen of, you know, it has the sheen of memory. Like it's fuzzy and it's like, it's not completely accurate. Like the part whenever, at the very beginning, whenever he's like trying to hint his way towards the Red Ryder BB gun. And he's like, I'd overplayed my hand and they all looked at me like I was a madman. And, you know, like they probably did not look at him for more than a second, but for some reason in his head, oh my God, that was the end of the world. And I brought the house down on myself. And, you know, like that's the sort of stuff that I absolutely adore. Like looking back, like there are things that memory is so interesting and subjective that being able to watch this movie, knowing it is an adult telling a story about when he was a kid, and now having those stories for yourself and having heard those stories from your own parents and kind of being able to understand them. I don't know. This movie, it's fascinating that it is more targeted for adults and is palatable to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe when I was younger and still believing in Santa that this didn't give it away to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get they don't, I guess, I mean, the parents just say like, all right, let's go get them.
Let's go
like,
get them.
And maybe,
you know? And like when I was a kid, I was like, whatever they're going to get, you know?
Like, okay. Yeah. Like, sure. Go get the cookies and milk to put out for Santa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something like that. Something or other. But so like, that's a really great example of the sort of stuff where I'm like, and even Ralphie, you know, at one point in the movie goes, and you know, when we were younger, a lot of us were skeptics, but we didn't want to take any chances, you know, like, when he's talking about going to see Santa. So like they never expressly go, Santa's bullshit, he's not real. But they do go, he's obviously not real, but you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we're going to give you those little hints that maybe he could be. And I love that line at Toes. And, I don't know. I really do appreciate the movie a lot more as an adult than I did as a kid.
Yeah. I like how you said it was like through the like lens of memory, and that it isn't truly, you know, these events one for one. And I was trying to find like a way to describe, you know, how the movie felt, and that's just like, I feel like that's the most succinct and best way, and that just actually is what is happening in the movie. But like I kept going back to this, like it's very simple, and the things that are happening, they're just taken to like extremes, but like it's simple, but it's abstract at like the same time.
Right.
Like it's like you have this like the award, you know, I guess the scene, I don't know,
oh my God.
The iconic scene, you know, when I'm watching it,
it's a major award. Look, he won this. It's a major award.
The whole neighborhood,
Emily,
you know,
God bless her. I love that I have had this impact on her, and in turn, she has had this impact on me. Last night I was watching this movie, and the leg lamp arrives at the house on Cleveland Street, and she pointed out, she was like, this is like a David Lynch movie, and it completely changed the movie for me. It was so fucking funny. Like she pointed out that it has the same kind of humor that Peaks does at points. Twin Peaks has. And I was just like, oh my God, yeah, this is basically a family from Twin Peaks. There's a lot of Blue Velvet, you know, and obviously this does precede Blue Velvet, but I do think that that tone is very, very well established. And I think that, you know, to speak to the Lynch of it all, him kind of playing with the suburban Midwestern Americana and the kind of, you know, glossy, pristine image of, you know, 50s suburbia, and kind of going, oh, it's beautiful, but then playing with the darkness that lies beneath. This is just the surface. You know, this is just the glossy, beautiful surface. This has no darkness underneath. But because we've watched David Lynch movies, it becomes a little bit more sinister in moments whenever the music does this weird sting and they're excited about this strange lamp. Especially whenever you do put into context, like with the Lynch stuff, that the idea that a man would be excited about a severed leg that lights up is 100% something that happens in a Lynch movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that is not outside the realm of possibility. Dude, it completely changed the movie for me.
Yes.
So fucking bless her for putting that thought in my head. It absolutely fried me. And then we watched the movie for like 10 more minutes going, what the fuck? Like every scene after scene, we kept going, holy shit, is this exactly like that?
Yeah, it's actually the whole movie. And like, so I had you texted me that, and then I'm like, oh, interesting. This one scene that's like that. You know, I'm like, okay, I'll get a little bit of Lynch.
No, it's
that'll be interesting.
It's a lot
Not what I'm expecting. And then I'm watching the movie. I'm like, wait a minute, this is already Lynch. I'm like, why is this so like the dialogue is spoken kind of similarly?
Yes,
where it's like
the performance choices are also very similar as well. You know, like you spoke to the whole furnace situation and the lever and how Eraserhead of the movie that is, which does precede this movie. So there is kind of a, you know, like that could have actually been an influence. And not to mention that Bob Clark, the director of this movie, also was a horror movie director, as he made Black Christmas, which was another movie that I considered putting on the list for this December project. But we just came off the horror month in October and stuff, and I felt like that might be doubling down a little bit. And absolutely worth checking out regardless. Love that movie. It's got Margot Kidder in it, and I love Margot Kidder. That's my Lois Lane for life, baby. Yeah, no, so he has it in his bag to go for that tone, that scary, weird tone. And obviously whenever they go see Santa, that's the other time it really, really comes out.
Were you afraid as a kid to go see Santa at first?
When I was really, really young, yeah, I'm sure I was. But as soon as as far back as I can remember, no, I wasn't. But I know there are pictures of me with Santa crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a strange man who I'm about to go sit on his lap. Like, I think that's kind of frightening for a lot of kids. And a very strange ritual.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, it definitely throws a wrench in the whole, how is there a Santa in every mall? And then there has to be an explanation of like, oh no, these are just Santa's helpers. These aren't actually the real Santa.
Right, right. Well, it's so funny how convoluted and how willing to believe so many of us were.
It's like, oh, okay, that's obviously how it works. Oh, okay.
Me and my brothers were just talking about this the other day, and they were like, I can't believe the kind of bullshit we would believe. And I was like, because we had an elf on the shelf, and the idea was that the elf, like, I don't know if you know the deal with elves on the shelf, but the idea is that they leave every night and report back to Santa, and then when they come back, they're in a new spot, and you can't touch it, or else it doesn't work anymore, and, you know, and like we were all just like, yeah, no, for sure, my mom and dad are telling me this, so it must be true.
It's like Santa's spy. I mean, he's just spying on you. He's like, he's got his elf worker legit just watching you all day. Can't touch him or else you'll lose the magic.
You'll lose the magic. You'll take the magic from him. You just have to believe, and that's so funny. And like, obviously it's in the spirit of something very, very sweet and good and fun, and therefore I obviously don't hold that against my parents at all, but it is so fucking funny that one of the main rituals of childhood for one of the biggest days of the year in Christian societies is so based around lying to your children. You know,
just straight up role playing.
And again, 100%. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't want to frame it like it's like ooh, nobody should lie to their kids. Fuck it. I don't care. I loved believing in Santa. Like, Christmas was so fucking magical when I was younger because I was like, holy shit. I watched Christmas movies with Santa in it, and I felt like it was based on a true fucking story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, this gives this stakes, you know?
It's like you're role playing. You know, the parents are actually role playing. You know, they're legitimately just lying to their kids. But like, as the child, you're like fully in. You're like, oh my god, this is the real world that I live in. You're like, holy shit. You're like, this dude is magical. Like,
and I think it's so important to believe in some magic as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, the idea that there is this ultimate force of good that lives at the North Pole and checks on to see if you're nice or naughty every year. And you know what? You're going to be nice, which is so funny. Like looking like it's just a ploy to get you to behave.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is so fucking funny. Yeah, and I love that this movie plays with that in that regard. Whenever Ralphie's like, I didn't want to take any chances, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really believe, but just in case, I loved that it was still a possibility.
Had to exhaust all the resources. The subtle hint
really
didn't work
Red Ryder
to get the
BB
gun. Yeah, the mother said no. He's like, all right, well, there's only one more shot. Didn't even think to ask his dad. Bro never actually asked his dad.
That
and the dad,
payoff for the movie, like the dad, like I don't know why I viewed a lot of this movie as so negative when I was younger. Like it is so fucking happy. And so making the best of your situation and so loving and positive, like, and I think it is because of the scene like with Santa where I'm like, Jesus, that's terrifying for him. This is scary. What's wrong with him? The dogs coming in and tearing apart the table and eating the turkey and stuff. And, like, I'm like, oh God, what a terrible day. This is ruined. But then the movie ending with a racist caricature of Chinese people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it didn't age.
No, has not aged well. But like even so, like they get to bond in this moment, and then they go home, and that last shot of the mom and dad sitting on their couch next to the tree as it snows outside, like. I don't know, when I'm a kid, that shot doesn't mean a fucking thing to me, but now that is what the movie is about, is them maintaining the magic for their kid. And I really adore the parents' performances in this movie. We obviously covered Close Encounters of the Third Kind a few weeks back, which starred Melinda Dillon as the main romantic interest.
Wow. I guess.
Oh wait, no, she was not the romantic interest. She was the kid's mom.
Okay.
The one that leaves halfway through the movie.
Yeah, a forgettable movie.
Was she?
I don't know. That's like I know I watched that movie. And I guess the sequel is coming here soon, or somewhat of a sequel. I don't know. Next alien movie from Spielberg. But yeah, no, I forget largely of that movie. She is the romantic lead.
Terry Garr. Yes. Terry Garr is the wife who leaves halfway through the movie and then never comes back.
Oh yes, that's right. That's what happens. Yes, he goes crazy mode, builds the crazy model.
Yeah. So Melinda Dillon, the mom in this movie, is also in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which we discussed a few weeks back. And then Darren McGavin plays the dad, and he plays the dad of Billy Madison in Billy Madison, the Adam Sandler movie. So I've got a few, just those are my only real reference points for the parents in this movie. And the only reference point I have for Peter Billingsley is when he plays another elf at the North Pole in the movie Elf.
Wow. Yeah. This is, I guess I didn't put the Close Encounters of the Third Kind together while watching. I just had that Lynch lens the whole movie that I was like, all right, this is Sarah. She's it's the mom of the group, and she's kind of, a little, that scene where she's like, the little boy's not eating, so she's like, all right, my little piggy, my little piggy, and like it just kind of, she goes a little nutso,
Dude,
a couple times.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like again, watching it with that Lynch lens does give things a very funny air about them, and then you kind of realize that. Sorry, it's really funny to like watch these movies on the other side of Lynch's filmography and kind of go, Lynch isn't doing that much to make things feel sinister.
Yeah.
They kind of already feel that way, and it's so interesting. And I know that somehow we're talking about A Christmas Story and we've managed to make it about David Lynch, as is something every David Lynch fan will do until the end of time. But it really does speak to his brilliance, how he keyed in on that and made an entire career out of it, But
I think it is just the dream. Like this is, or a in this case, we're looking back through memory,
right,
which is kind of closely-ish related to dreams.
Yeah,
I'd say
so.
like the way you do recollect something, like when you're telling a story, I feel like you do insert like a mini dream in your head for a second, and then you're trying your best just to describe
what happened
what it
in
is.
said dream. Yeah,
And it's like this. It can change over time. Like a dream, you forget within 5 seconds. So like, but if something is so visual in your mind, like you knew it had to be so impactful, or it was such a moment that you can like so easily put yourself in there. But then I think that it's funny that like you have certain memories that like don't seem important whatsoever, but they're so crystal clear. So it's like memory is this sort of like almost dream-like thing, and maybe that's just kind of the just because the whole movie is told through his memory, maybe it has that like dialogue delivery and kind of like just off nature. It's not scary.
Well, and that's what's funny is this is the other side of the coin. It's off in a positive way, where a Lynch thing is off in a negative way. Like it's almost it almost becomes elevatedly cute versus elevatedly demented, which is
that's true.
which is funny. Like when I was younger, and still to this day, Randy annoys the shit out of me. The other kid, the little brother. I mean, holy shit, dude! The whining, can't do it. It is what it is. Kids will be kids, and I would never actually show my resentment to a child who behaved like this. But holy fuck, man, the shrill voice of it all really kills me. And again, that's one of those choices that does make me feel like it is, again, the way he remembers his little brother at the time, which is that he was always like that. He was always like, that's what he sounds like the whole time. I don't even know if he says actual words ever.
Not really, which is why I thought it was a weird South Park inspiration for Lenny. Like whenever he's all covered up in the scarf and he does the little and like it kind of was like, is this South Park before South Park?
That's
is
so
a thing?
funny.
And like a weird,
it's a great
comparison.
Start.
But yeah, it's
Gut Farkas.
He reminded me of my little brother.
Reminded me of my little brother too.
He kind of looked like him too when my brother was younger, which is wild. Like they actually looked somewhat similar, and also, no offense, little Randy didn't seem that he had too many tools in the shed, or it didn't seem like much was going on,
and not a lot of
there.
Thoughts going on behind those eyes. For sure.
And kind of aligning. No offense to real bro, but as a kid, that's just kind of how it was. But
dude, and then, so funny that a lot of kids go through this, I don't know, years long phase where they don't want to eat at the table. Like, I mean, working in a restaurant, you really, really, really get privy to this especially in a family-friendly restaurant, you get really, really familiar with this behavior. It is uncanny how many kids just do not want to eat.
Wow. Yeah, it's the ultimate, like, I am depressed. Whatever has happened in my life, like, I'm so mad that I'm not even going to eat. I feel like it's like maybe one of the only acts of rebellion you can do as a kid.
Like you're not able to, like, you're not controlling it, I guess. Like, you don't get a say typically in what you're going to eat. You just show up somewhere, and now this is, and also you might not even be hungry, but it's dinner time, so you have to eat.
Yeah, true.
Oh, God, kids crying in the restaurant. Like, it's something you have to be okay with, because it's going to happen. And it happens a lot.
But man,
oh my God,
is it an uneasy noise? Like,
it is.
When used in a movie, it just makes you uncomfortable. Like you immediately want to like mute the TV. Like it's like, no, like kind of out of annoyance, yes, but more of like, it's just like, oh, it's so unpleasant just to like to hear someone cry, because like we've all cried as kids. We've all been through
everybody
that,
does.
you
It's
know?
not
And
like today, just Christmas Eve, we were open for lunch, and we had a couple come in with a young baby, like, I mean, not old enough to eat even. So like, this isn't to, it's not like, not old enough to eat our food, just they wanted a meal and they brought their kid with them, like about to celebrate his first Christmas today, sort of thing. And was asleep for so much of the meal, and obviously woke up at some point. And was not happy or hungry or soiled or something, crying. And it's a fun performance, serving, like the theater of being a service worker, and kind of having to pretend that this shrill noise of a baby screaming does not bother you. It's okay. That's part. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, don't worry. You're walking to other tables and you're smiling. You're going, oh, it's okay. Stuff's gonna happen. I'm going to the back and I'm like, oh my god,
like, take them outside pay for your meal right and leave, now. Please.
But it's obviously you can't do that, because again, it's a kid. You can't. I'm never going to be mad at a kid for being upset. Shit happens. But the performance of it is always a fun challenge.
The screaming or like the crying, which was very uncomforting, and then the bullies, like like whenever it just like showed his like braces, and he was just super zoomed in on his face,
Yellow
and
eyes.
like another,
he had yellow eyes.
It's crazy how like I didn't think of, he's just recollecting on all of these things, and like everything is heightened to the
everything's
exaggerated. Like when he helps his dad and he like accidentally says fuck, I get, and he's like, oh, my life's over. He's like, this is it. He's in the back of the car and he's like, I'm as good as dead. He's like, he's actually like thinking he's going to die, and then his little brother too is like in the cupboard. Yeah, he's gonna kill him. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my brother. Yeah, it's like it's just everything is to the maximum degree.
It was all over. I was dead. What would it be? The guillotine, hanging, the chair, the rack, the Chinese water torture. Mere child's play compared to what surely awaited me.
As a kid, did you have this weird instinct that you kind of wanted people to like attack your house or like invade your house so that you could protect your family, but like you obviously knew you couldn't because you're a child?
Well, this was a thought that happened. I mean, and sadly, across all of America, there is a young boy sitting in a class thinking about what he would do to defend his class. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, that's a very real thing, though. Like, what in this scenario?
I guess I was doing it.
I was too.
It wasn't up to that degree yet.
No, 100%. But I was too. Like, we would practice the lockdown drills, and I'd be like, "Holy shit, what would I do if there was a lockdown drill?"
God.
And like it's a lot more harrowing now, because it's usually like I'm at like a movie theater and I'm like, okay, what do I do if this happens? Like this is a a little bit of a pivot based on what we were talking about, but like I do genuinely consider that anytime I'm in a public place with people, I'm like, what do I do if this pops off? Where do I go? How do I get her out of here? Like it's a genuine, actual thought that enters my head every space I enter that is populated with a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. I'm at church today and I'm like looking at everyone who walks in, and I'm like seeing a dude that looked a little off with a backpack, and I'm like, okay, the small chance that this dude has a weapon in there and he's about to open, like, what is my plan? I'm like, why is that even entering my brain right now?
It's sad that it's sad that it almost has to, like it's not good to be scared, but it's not a bad thing to be vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it just to be ready and not like actually concerned, like keeping your head on a swivel, like this is going to be a problem, but being like, well, if it is a problem, at least I know what I'm ready to do. You know what I'm saying? And, but to your point, which was a lot more innocent, and
just
extremely
to defend your
valid
home.
is
Yeah.
no 100%. This was stuff that like fantasies about it.
Yes.
Like how would I be a hero in a situation like this? And him having that fantasy of being the Red Rider and whipping out the BB gun and shooing off the intruders and all that. Like, dude, it's too good. And the fantasy at the classroom whenever he turns in his essay and the teacher leads a dreary life of reading terrible essays, and then you call this a paragraph? I love margins.
Yes. Oh yeah. And a crazy trivia I read about her is that she was pregnant at the time, and in the 40s it's unacceptable for an unmarried woman to be shown as pregnant, so they padded her up. She had like pads to make her appear a little bigger than she actually was to hide her pregnancy. And I didn't notice it.
To make it like more period accurate?
Like, I guess it was, yes.
Like, because it was made in the 80s. Yeah.
Yes, but since it's like in the 40s and
in the 50s. They definitely are making that, like, and that was one reason that when I was younger I didn't like the movie, is because I felt like it was from the 1950s. Like, and it also made me think my dad was a lot older than he was. Which is super funny. Like when I was younger I was like, you grew up watching this? This movie's fucking ancient. You know what I'm saying? This came out when you were younger?
I always thought I didn't, even while watching, I didn't realize that it was 83 until like after, and like I was scrolling through everything. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I kind of
it's a nostalgia piece,
thought,
which again does make it for adults in the 80s. The people who grew up in the 50s is who it's trying to relate to. So like it's for adults who grew up at that time, and it's kind of it's a great idea. There's only one other movie, Christmas movie wise, that I know of that has done it for a later decade, which is 8-Bit Christmas, which only came out a couple years ago. And the Red Rider BB gun MacGuffin is a Nintendo 64, and it's an 80s nostalgia piece. Like late 80s. It's a grown man telling his daughter, what he did for Christmas when he was younger, and she's so obsessed with her phone, and she wants a phone, and he tells her a story about the gift that he wanted most of all, and it was this Nintendo 64, and it has the same sort of vibe as this movie, but it's again like for kids who grew up in the 80s. I watched that movie with my parents, and they were both like almost moved to tears by the end of the movie because it spoke so deeply to them. And I was like, damn, like that's just something I can't, I mean, like I can emotionally, connect with the movie, but it's not going to get me there. And they were clearly moved by it in a way that I just wasn't.
Do you have a MacGuffin in your childhood that you can point to that was your Daisy air rifle?
Let's see. I mean, there's a few hyper specific things, like there's a few things that just feel too broad era wise to be specifically aughts. You know what I'm saying? Like I always really wanted, like one of those, I got multiple of those lightsabers that like flung out. I loved those. Where you'd hold down the button and you'd fling it, and they'd, and then you'd push the button down and stuff it back in there. I always loved that thing. I always wanted that thing. I'm like, arrow wise, I feel like the closest thing you're gonna get are like Nerf guns, power, like those Power Wheels, like the mini cars. Those were always a big deal when I was younger.
Those were sick. The closest one I can think of is a GameCube. I was like,
big one.
I wanted the GameCube.
Xboxes and GameCubes, yeah.
Yes, that was the first console was a GameCube, and like my parents even set up like a whole scavenger hunt for it as well. Like we opened up all of our presents, and then there was like one little note that was like, "Hey, go check out the washing or the dryer," and then we went to the dryer, and it's like, "Oh, go check out the passenger seat of Dad's car," and then it's like, okay, and then it led to the our little game room, and then it's like there's the GameCube. Yes. Oh, dude, the Wii was another banger.
The Wii probably would be the most easily palatable and marketable version of that for the aughts.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, what was that? 07, 08?
Oh my God, Wii Sports. Yeah, when did the Wii come out? This is gonna date so hard. The Wii. It was 2006. Holy crap!
Yeah, no. So yes, that would probably be the easiest one to make a 2000s movie around. You know what I'm saying? Like the Wii. And as far as I can remember, I feel like that would be. I feel like that's kind of the pinnacle.
Wii Sports bowling.
Yep.
We took bowling to the maximum degree. We were competitive as all hell. That was everything.
Remotes are not being cinched to the wrist; they are flying through televisions. Yeah.
Oh, we absolutely shattered. It was like a humongous TV, humongous in the sense of the depth of the TV, not the screen size, but just the back, how much it extended from the wall. But like it had like this, I don't know, layer of a screen before the real screen, and a Wii remote playing baseball went right into it, and that TV was done for.
Outstanding.
That was.
I would love to see the TV I grew up with in my living room now.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I was younger, again, through the sheen of memory, I think this thing in my head is fucking gigantic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember it as an unstoppable force, an immovable object. Just the zenith of power was this television that sat in my living room. And I'm sure it was screen-wise smaller than the TV I now have in my bedroom.
Yep.
But
picture quality
was this
not
thing
even
heavy.
Remotely close.
Not even
like
close.
Think about
I remember when HD TV happened.
Yeah.
You know? Every time I tell Griffin that, he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You know, that's my little brother. You're gonna tell me we're the same generation?
That's true.
You can't.
Yeah, no.
You know,
no. He's only known
He's only known
really
HD TV. Yeah,
like the leap from before like 480p or like what TV was, and then like where we are now. I feel like we've just gone through the biggest leaps in quality. But like at the time, before HD was even a thing, it was like, holy crap, this is so good. Like this is as good as it is. So it's like it's
like,
just
okay, go to channel 62. Right? Look at that. Now look at channel 162. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't even close.
Was Cartoon Network back in the day. That was it. And then, now it's like 364 on DirecTV. And then it was weird. But man, I'd say the consoles were kind of the most wanted, like closest thing to like the air rifle that I can
probably
think
so.
of.
And that's that's again something that makes and also I have no idea if the Red Ryder BB gun was a real thing.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I had one of these things, and it was from Daisy as well. Like,
no shit. Okay.
Same. Load action, everything. You loaded it the same. You cocked it the same.
I never had a BB gun. I never had a BB gun. That's not something I grew up with. And like I went to friends' houses who had BB guns and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I never really wanted one either. I don't know why. I think maybe I was just a little frightened of them. Maybe this message seeped into my memory that I would shoot my eye out. Because
you
ultimately
would do exactly
he
what your
nearly
mother
does shoot his eye out.
Yeah, if his aim was a little better, maybe if he actually hit that bullseye, it would have come back in his eye. Like he was just so barely off that it got him by the cheek. So it was like, I thought,
what did I do? What do I do? What do I say?
Yeah.
And this is so spot on. Dude, like, that's why I'm like, I fucking love the way this depicts the mind of a child. Like, the part whenever the teacher's like, if anyone would like to come forward, I know that your guilt will be as much a punishment as getting caught. So there's that. And then he's like, the fool.
Yes.
It's so much better to not get caught. Which is extremely true when you're younger. You have no concept. Like, as soon as you don't get caught for something when you're younger, the guilt's gone. Like it's the guilt of being caught is the only thing that scares you.
It's like, oh my God, I got away with that. And it's like, and then it's like, I'm going to do it again. I got to try that again. I got to get more of that juice. And like, we were just talking about it with my family earlier. when I was young, me and my brother were doing the Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight on Mustafar in our living room, and we put the pillows on the floor to be like the little things they floated on for the final end of the battle. And so I'm Obi-Wan, so I'm jumping off to go on my little drone guy or little rock.
Yeah, you're about to gain the high ground. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I just land so wrong on my leg that I snap my femur in half, and it's when I broke my leg as a kid. Mm-hmm. And in the time, because I let out a scream, I mean the loudest scream I've ever let out in my life, and my mother came sprinting down the stairs and saw me. And in that time that my mother came down the stairs and got to me, I already put together that, like, no, we weren't jumping off the couch. I would get in too much trouble if she knew I was jumping off the couch. So I'm going to say that my brother actually jumped on my leg and broke it himself, that he did it. And that's what I went with. And it was believed by my family for legitimately, I don't even know how long. Like, I told him maybe like 5 years ago that, like, it actually wasn't the case.
Funny.
That it was, just that.
I have a prank that I want to do with my brothers to my mom, which is my mom insists that she knows everything. And I don't mean that in a know-it-all capacity. I mean, she knows everything we've ever done. Like, we never got anything by her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to come up with a story that me and Q specifically completely fabricate and ask her if she ever knew that we did that. And then when she inevitably says, yes, I knew that, we won't tell her. Mm-hmm. We'll look at each other and go, yep, that's what I fucking thought. You know what I'm saying?
But imagine she's like, no, you just made that up. Like,
I'd be like, okay, Ma, you know ball. You know
like,
fucking ball.
It's like, wait a minute. Like, wait, is there some secret mom power actually unlocked when you have a kid, and you just...
Now, don't get me wrong. There was some shit when I was younger that my mom would be like, come talk to me about, and I'd be like, how the fuck?
Yes. Yeah.
How the fuck do you know about that? Legitimately,
it's like the Home Alone.
Boggled my mind. And I'm talking like well into adolescence, like 16, 17, she'd come talk to me about shit, and I'd be like, how the fuck did that make it back to you? Who on earth are you speaking to? And not in like a negative way, just kind of like is anything private? Do I have no sense of, do you know everything I'm doing?
That's kind of like...
the answer, kids, is yes. Your mom knows exactly what you're doing all the time.
I think, growing up, it was tried to be instilled in me that God is watching your every move. So you can't do anything wrong because he's always watching. That didn't quite work. So my mother had to step in. At least, it didn't quite work for me. So I think my mother had to step in. Yeah. But no, Santa, no, that's for real. That obviously.
That motherfucker is going to give me material gifts. I know he's watching.
Yeah. But the mothers, they do have some... maybe it is just a full-time job for, it's just what they're doing. They're always worried about their kids. So it's just they have just, CIA level freaking infiltration, and you'll never know about it.
Their third eye is not blind. Yeah, no, it is all seeing. That's the superpower of a mother right there, and that's why I love. Again, like, you get a little glimpse of that in this movie with Melinda Dillon's character. Again, when the kid refuses to eat, and she's like, "Where's the piggy? Show me how a piggy eats." And then again, it sounds like a negative way to put it, but it is what's happening. She manipulates her child into eating.
Yeah. But
and
the kid will remember that as a fond memory. He was loving it. Little Richie was having the time of his life.
I was just talking,
Ralphie,
dude. Yeah. You mentioned him remembering that so fondly. Something that I was talking about with my mom and my aunt earlier tonight, because we had our Christmas Eve celebration tonight with my mom's side of the family. I had like night terrors when I was younger, like real young. I was 5 and younger, 6 and younger, in that age range where it was just like, I'd wake up like sobbing and my parents were there and they were like, you were having a nightmare, you screamed and you called for help and stuff like that, and I'd wake up and be like, fuck, sorry, I can't stop crying. I don't know why. And my mom tonight informed me that like we made a list of things after we after I did it a few times, my mom would make a list of things we did that day to see if she could assign something to it.
Oh.
And one of the thing that was the consistent thing is I watched the greatest movie ever made on those days.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Yes, of course. And I remember
Like,
Scooby-Doo. I remember Scooby-Doo so absurdly fondly that I had no recollection that is what caused night terrors for me when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like
this. Wait, it's actually Scooby-Doo?
It was actually Scooby-Doo. Yes. Yeah. Wait. Like she said that was the thing that consistently matched up. That was something we did the day you had night terrors, is watch Scooby-Doo. And I was like, but I love that movie. And I remember loving that movie. And she goes, you absolutely loved that movie, but it gave you nightmares.
I mean, Spooky Island was actually
it was
spooky.
Freaky.
I mean, yes.
Freaky.
But man, maybe, I love that fucking movie.
I love that movie too.
But
and
it did scare the shit out of me.
zero recollection that it did something that negative to me. So again, talking about that glossy sheen of picture perfect memory, you know, you can either paint everything with a shit brush or you can make everything beautiful and happy. And there are certain parts of my childhood that, like, you know, obviously I paint with a shit brush, and then there are obviously things that I paint so absurdly positively. There's nothing neutral about memory, which is so fascinating. You know, you remember mundane things, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know those things where you'll be like, I don't even know why I remember this. And then you'll say something about it. The reason you remember it is because you remember it fondly. You know, like for whatever reason, typically when you say, oh God, I don't even know why I remember this. It's because you're talking about something happy. It's not just, oh, and I remember this one time we were walking down the street. You know, it's like, oh, I remember this one time we were walking down the street and, you know, you ran ahead, like, and it's nostalgia speaking in those moments. And I think it's so interesting to kind of, I don't know, think about memory in that regard and how jaded it can be.
It's for real. Like, I mean, we take it for granted just because we all have it, but like memory is for real a superpower. Like the fact that we're all just standing around and then it's like, oh yeah, hey, remember whenever we blah, 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 blah? You're legitimately forming that like memory in your brain again. You're seeing the things you saw, but not even from your eyes. You're seeing it from like a dream perspective. Like it's almost like you can take yourself out of your eyes or like and then put yourself back in to see what you. It's like a weird. At least that's how I feel like I see my memories in more of
to time travel that we have.
Yeah, I mean, we just do it every day. You know, we can only go one direction, I guess. You know, but I mean, it's actually gnarly. Like, I mean, I always say like dreams always boggle my mind, and like we're much too comfortable with that we all just do that and then wake up and then just go on with our normal lives. And like it feels like if we can do that while we're asleep, the brain is just more capable than what we give it credit for, I feel like. But yeah, it's like this dreams and memories. I never thought of the other way. I've always thought of dreams as just this thing that I couldn't wrap my head around at all. But like memory too is kind of we take a lot for granted, you know, and as far as human capability and just natural ability, it's not something you really have to refine or work at. Now, obviously, it's stuff you can lose, like you can lose memory, and like I memory is like a sixth, like may actually be our sixth sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you think about what it's like to lose your sense of touch, what it's like to lose your sense of smell, what it's like to lose your hearing or lose your sight. You are seriously hindered by those two things. You know what I'm saying? And not that you can't overcome it, not that it's impossible to deal with. You know, there are plenty of deaf people, plenty of blind people who make it through life 100%, you know? But we don't consider losing memory the same way, you know, like, but it gives you bearings. It gives you an idea, a sense of who you are and the life you have led. And the second that you can't remember that, you are no longer the person that you are when you can remember. And that's... Yeah. It's that's what you say about some, like, sadly with like Alzheimer's or dementia, is like you say, like, they're not themselves anymore. Like they don't have their memories. They are no longer them. So it's like, in a way, like our memories are like truly what
memories define
you.
people.
Yeah, like,
it is a very real thing. And now obviously there's a lot more to that in a metaphysical sense. You know, are we defined by just what we remember, or are we defined by what others remember about us? And, you know, like there's a lot that goes into that. It's not so black and white, but no, I think that's a very, very real, I think it's a very real take about memory, is that it gives you bearings, you know, like, the fact that I can remember what I did today determines what I'm going to do the rest of the day. And even in the small sense like that, not just the fact that I can remember, this small thing that I'm really happy about from 15 years ago, but the fact that I can remember what I did last night. Oh, well, I ate this last night. I probably shouldn't eat that tonight. You know, and I probably won't eat that tonight because I remember that I ate something like that last night. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a very small example of it, but it shows how massively and smallly, though, that memory can impact your day-to-day life. And I think that's why I'm like, this movie obviously got me going a little bit. I thought about a lot more than I thought I would, and it's mostly because Emily pointed out that it felt like a David Lynch movie. But that sense of nostalgia, obviously, we dealt with that a lot in November. We thought about we had a whole month dedicated to nostalgia. That was the theme, and Christmas is an inherently nostalgic time, because notoriously, everyone had more fun at Christmas when they were a kid. And nobody has as much fun at Christmas again until they have kids of their own, is typically the idea.
Yes.
So it's fascinating.
We've passed
how
that threshold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so it's the only way we'll get it again is by having actually the experience to happen
joy
over
of
again.
giving that to someone else would definitely be profound. But yeah, man, I don't know. I loved the movie. I loved it a lot more than I thought I would. I never gave it a fair shake when I was younger. And message to all my Gen X dads out there, your kid's not going to like this for a while. It's going to take a little bit to get there. It's going to take a little bit to get there. They need the perspective that life can bring. And if your kid does like this, he's a fucking weirdo. No, I'm just kidding.
Little Ralphie,
he needs help. No, I'm just
like
kidding.
That boy. He got a blimp, like a metal blimp, and that was like, oh my god, I'm sleeping with this. This is the best. This is the best thing I could ever think of. But like now, you can't really just give a kid a blimp. I don't know. Like that's it's got to be like an iPad or a freaking, I don't know. It's just the standards.
There's
what
a different
is entertaining. I feel like is different.
100%. Well, and there's the more consumerist that our society has become, you know, the less pure the idea of Christmas is felt. Like another one of my favorite Christmas movies is Fred Claus. I don't know if you ever watched that. It's got Vince Vaughn, and he plays Santa's bum-ass older brother.
Yeah.
He's down on his luck. He's always borrowing money. He's never paying anybody back. And he resents his brother for being this perfect saint who was obviously his parents' favorite and all this stuff. One of the main problems of that movie is that there's like a bureaucracy that manages, you know, the North Pole and the Easter Bunny and all this stuff. That's like your output is it's absurdly high. The problem is that you're not meeting demand. Kids these days, they don't just want a hula hoop or a baseball bat for Christmas. You know, the average letter to Santa no longer contains 1 or 2 gifts. It now contains 8 or 9. And you're not able to provide, and therefore Christmas cheer is going down. All that good stuff. And so that was obviously like a very, very, it's not a huge part of that movie, and but it does speak to a certain real life thing, which is that the more capitalist that everything, you're able to perceive everything as being, the less joy you can kind of get out of the, I don't know, the gift part of Christmas, where you're like, ah, man, like, this part feels hollow, you know?
The expectations are higher, and the cost of getting those gifts is higher. It's like it's
lot higher,
a double wedge. It's like, and then, but I think at least a common theme throughout every single one of the Christmas movies is, I get this one a little less than most, you know, like it is revolving around the gift, but I think the true happy ending is not him getting the gift he wanted. It's like the dinner that they go out and have, and that it still doesn't matter that the dogs ate their turkey, and like,
oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Just that
100%. Well, and I think again, like Ralphie does get the gift he wants, but he immediately does what they said he would do.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't win strictly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch the movie and you go, like, you want him to get that Red Ryder BB gun. You want him to prove that he's not going to shoot his fucking eye out. And then the first thing he does with it is nearly shoot his goddamn eye out. And you're like, damn it, Ralphie, you've ruined it for all of us. You know, like, you're showing them what it's actually like. And that ending with the family and them being together and loving and making the best of a bad situation. That is the spirit of it. And I really, really love it for that reason, man. And again, that last shot, I love it. That's just as cozy as it gets. And, I literally, that might be the only image in the movie I genuinely did not remember.
Yeah.
You know, like, it popped up and I was like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't think I ever paid attention to that part of the movie. And that's so funny.
And actually, like, so much more touching than I thought it was gonna be. Like the like just the slow sit down, and then like him slowly moving his hand over. Whenever she feels it on her back, she then puts her hand on his back, and then they like just sink into each other. And I'm like, oh,
it's
man,
sweet,
like,
man.
Whoa, like, yeah, they were like, the dad, I guess, mostly kind of negative, like, throughout the whole. I think he's like the only kind of negative part of the movie, or like the darkest that it gets, I think, is like when he's just in the furnace and, you know, kind of doing the thing.
He's the factory of swear words, and you know, he's got a constant flowing of swear words coming from him. But even so, like, one of the things that I love about it is whenever he gets back in the car, like, he never actually loses his temper at the kids.
Yeah.
He loses his temper generally. But when Ralphie curses and he says fuck, and he goes, what did you say? And he goes, that's what I thought you said. And he like makes him get in the car, and then he tells the mom very calmly, you want to know what your son just said? Then he whispers it, and then she loses it, and then she cleans his mouth out with soap. And then later, whenever Ralphie gets in the fight and she kind of defends, you know, doesn't tell him the whole story, which is another really sweet part of the story. Which I love, by the way. Thank God he beat the shit out of Scott Farkas.
Yeah.
And Peter Billingsley, by the way, hell of a moment from him whenever he can't stop crying after he beats him up. That is a real emotion that most little boys, and I'm assuming most young children generally, have experienced, which is that you have no idea how to stop feeling what you're feeling, and you just let it go. You let it fly, and it's usually tied to anger.
That's like the fight thing. I think that's where the darkest part of the movie does come from, is that like this built up tension, and then he's cursing like his dad, almost like a like becoming your father sort of thing. But like I think it was also just like, this bully has just been getting on his nerves for a long time, and he's never done anything about it.
Coming to the surface. He got the C+, and he wants the gun. He's not going to get the gun. He got in trouble for cursing, and now his mom thinks less of him than he got his friend in trouble, which he didn't want to do, but he felt like he had to do. And, you know, like, it's just this laundry list of things. He's been getting bullied, and he finally decided, you know what? Fuck this. So all of it comes out all at once, and the immediate empathy from Melinda Dillon whenever she pulls Ralphie off of him, and he's crying, and he can't stop crying, and she's like, okay, baby, come on. You know, like, she immediately tends to her son like he's in pain, and that is really, really sweet. It's something that I don't, again, just the perspective that adulthood can kind of bring to this movie does make it a lot better. And man, I'm incredibly grateful for having revisited it, especially on a day like Christmas Day. I can't wait to watch it on TNT running 24 hours over at my grandparents' house tomorrow. I'm going to be excited for it.
I want to throw it on so I can see like my family's reaction to it. You know, I kind of want to see like what these moments make everyone else feel like now. Because it was on a long time ago, but we got to. It's more of like I got to bring the tradition back, I guess, for our family. Yeah, but yeah, it was not what I expected at all. Kind of like It's a Wonderful
NBA
Life.
Basketball all day.
Oh yeah.
It's typically the NBA basketball, but when we start to open gifts, we turn on TNT, and the Christmas Story marathon is playing. Now,
I see.
The NFL also co-opting Christmas has not been good because the Chiefs play every Christmas now.
And now we're
which
on our
sucks, frankly.
And
Christmas
we don't have our stadium.
Christmas is a basketball holiday. Christmas is a basketball holiday. I fucking hate that my entire family wants to watch football. I get that it's the Chiefs. I get it. I'm not watching that shit tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to watch our third string quarterback throw for 110 yards against the fucking fuck-ass Denver Broncos in a meaningless shithole game. Sorry, letting the sports fan in me come out, entering full Ralphie's dad mode.
No, you're passionate about what is winter and Christmas to you, and it's never been football.
It's never been football.
Yeah,
show me basketball. The goddamn New York Knicks.
Yeah.
But regardless, man, I love A Christmas Story, and I never thought I would. I never thought I'd say those words. I know my dad is proud of me.
Yes,
but
it's just like beer, you know. It sucks at first.
It's exactly
you're like, how
like
can
beer.
anyone like this? And then you're like, wait, it's actually kind of good. Wait a minute, like I see why. I see what all the fuss was about.
A Christmas Story, the beer of movies. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. The beer. Yeah.
The beer.
Yeah. A simple.
Speaking
an
of,
abstract.
I might
weirdly.
watch The Holdovers tonight.
Ooh. Oh
might
my God.
have to watch The Holdovers tonight.
Oh. Yes.
Champagne of beers. Yeah.
The Miller High Life. There we go.
Yep,
we got
the Miller High Life.
The Christmas Story, the nice starter. You know, a nice just Bud Light. It's just as run of the mill. Well, I wouldn't really call this run of the mill. This is
but it's good.
Like,
it's good. You know,
it's okay.
Yeah.
But the Miller High Life, the holdover, maybe even a Blue Moon. You know, I'd give it's like a step up. Holdovers is
I like a Blue.
It's a different tier.
I like a Blue Moon. Holdovers is too good. But we covered that last Christmas. For those who want to hear us talk about the Holdovers, you can go ahead and check that out. That episode is still available, so you can go ahead and listen to that too if you're into it. And you know, it's the Christmas season after all. You might as well. But yeah, man, I think with that, I can go ahead and do the plugs. We will rate this movie, and then we will get the fuck on. If you would, leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening. I would appreciate it greatly. It's the only metric we keep track of. Obviously, it's a movie podcast. People pop in for the movies they want to hear people talk about, and then they leave, and they don't really stick around. And, you know, that is what it is. I have no issue with that. We love doing it. But if you did enjoy what you heard, and you have... You know, maybe you don't have any desire to listen to another episode we have in the catalog. No biggie. Do me a favor, throw us that $5, though. On your way out, throw us that $5. I'd appreciate it. And if you know a friend who's got a favorite movie and it happens to be in our catalog, send them the episode. You know, say, hey, I think you might like this. I would appreciate that, too. I'm asking a lot of you. But I believe in you, which is why I ask that. I ask that much of you. I believe you can get it done. You know, it's the spirit of Christmas. Just I believe.
It'd be the best gift we could get for the pod, you know.
Yes, it would. It would. I would appreciate that greatly. Share the gift of the sentimentalists. That would be lovely. So leave that 5-star rate and review. Download wherever you might be listening. I would appreciate it greatly. We obviously brought up David Lynch a lot more than you probably thought we would on a podcast about A Christmas Story. That's because we're huge David Lynch fans, and we are currently doing a Twin Peaks podcast called Fire Pod with Me. a Twin Peaks podcast. It is friendly to the first-time viewer and the rewatcher alike. I am rewatching it, and Joseph is watching it for the first time. We are currently on Season 3, The Return, and it's been, oh my God, it's been an absolute joy. We've spent almost a year with this show now, 10 months as of today, funny enough. Holy shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's I was like February 24th. That would be when we started it, and that's 10 months ago as of the date of recording. So
dang.
Yeah, we've spent 10 months with this show. We're going to spend another couple months with it. It'll almost come out to exactly a year by the time things are all said and done, and that's been a super fun project. You do have to see up to the point we are covering. We do episodic coverage. Right now we are in the midst of The Return. Next week will be The Return Part 13. Very excited for that. There's only 18 parts, so we don't have much left to go. But we do have a little bit of stepping to do, so I'm excited for it. Firepod with me, a Twin Peaks podcast. Check it out. We also have something called Geek with Me. And here soon, maybe today, I don't know, you'll have to go check and see. We're going to be doing a Force Awakens live commentary to celebrate the 10th birthday of the film, which occurred last week. So, the movie's officially 10 years old. You know, fuck what you heard, fuck what you think. I love the sequel trilogy. I love The Force Awakens. If you have beef with that, that's fine. Don't listen. Don't fucking listen. Don't listen. If you do happen to be one of those rare normal people out there who like good movies, you should check out our live commentary of The Force Awakens. It'll be out on Geek with Me here pretty soon. Let's go ahead and rate this movie. How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10 about A Christmas Story?
Well, it's in the similar vein of A Wonderful Life, that it's not what I was expecting it out of a Christmas or a Christmas movie to be, and like classic movies that actually threw me a wrench when I was watching. But it didn't really hit me like It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's not the 10. And I do think I appreciate it more than Home Alone, though. Like, it did get me to think a lot more. Like, Home Alone's, I think, a lot more entertaining. But
I would agree with that.
I think that this is, like, I don't know.
It's a better movie.
The story makes up for the lack of entertainment.
Right.
And everything else. And
obviously a kid is going to be entertained by Home Alone. I was a kid who was entertained by Home Alone and was bored by A Christmas Story. So, like, I've literally experienced being both sides of this coin. I'm 100% with you. As an adult, though, I do think I appreciate A Christmas Story more, which I never really anticipated. That makes me lean. I'm close to 8. Yeah, feels weird to give it an 8. I don't know that I'm 100% there, but I don't think I can go below it. I don't think I can go above it. I think I might sit right at 8.
Okay. There we are. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to make a Christmas number. Oh, the 25th. 8.25, I guess. Maybe can do it. You know, get a Christmas
maybe you go
number.
ahead and throw it the 8.5 so the average comes out.
That might be even cleaner.
Or we could just meet in the middle and agree on 8.25. Either way, it's the same fucking thing.
I guess the math will check out either way.
The math will check out either way, folks. I don't know if you're good at math, but 8.5 and 8, the average does come to 8.25, which is the same as if both of us gave it an 8.25, folks. I don't mean to break your brains or nothing. I know this ain't a math podcast.
But
sorry,
man,
I've had a couple drinks.
But no, quick maths. Good maths though. I mean, we're on the dot. I love that A Christmas Number kind of shook its way out. And yeah, it did feel kind of 8 was the gut, you know, if it gets this little boost, just a little Christmas cheer boost.
It's worth it for a Christmas cheer. Yeah. It's worth it for the Christmas. We love Christmas, don't we, folks? We love Christmas. Yeah, 8.25, man. I'm happy with that. And A Christmas Story, I don't know. I guess I just never really anticipated I would like this movie as much as I do. It feels almost like a coming of age moment for me to be like, I like A Christmas Story. It's weird. I don't know that I like the idea that I'm old enough to enjoy A Christmas Story.
I don't even have kids. Yeah, I don't have kids. I don't know how it's actually truly supposed to
but
feel.
I have so many friends who have kids, man. It's so weird.
True. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm super happy with it. But yeah, so that is our episode on A Christmas Story. We will be back next week twice. We'll be back next week twice. Because we are going to be doing a New Year's Eve episode. As last year, at the end of 2024, we discussed one of our favorite movies of 2024 in Challengers. This year, we will be discussing, one of my favorite movies from 2025, one that I don't think Joe has had the privilege of watching yet.
Not yet.
Which, as of right now, we have on the docket Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix. However, something that just hit Max is One Battle After Another.
Oh,
it literally just hit streaming, which I didn't think it would do in time for New Year, which was kind of why I leaned towards Frankenstein. So things to consider. So on New Year's Eve, you will either get an episode about Frankenstein or One Battle After Another. There's even a chance we're going to go see Marty Supreme this weekend. So, maybe that'll throw a real wrench into things and we'll be like, well, we got to go record on this right now.
I need to see Avatar and Marty Supreme so bad. Like
Avatar was a fucking banger, by the way.
I need it. I need it. Yes.
Yeah, it was good. IMAX 3D. First IMAX 3D viewing for me, by the way. The glasses over the glasses, not nearly as much of a problem as I thought it would be.
That's good.
And you told me about the development of that 3D technology, and I just really had to experience it to believe it. Yeah, that shit's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's nice to not have red and blue. One eye red, one eye blue.
The fact that I can take my eyes, like I can take my glasses off and still see what's happening.
Yes. Yeah.
How the fuck have we figured that out? That's amazing.
Yeah. Wait. How is that shit actually working? That is.
There is an obvious like weird hazy thing, but you can still see it. It's not like where it's like, oh my god, this is gonna tear me apart trying to watch. So neither here nor there, but yeah, we're gonna have a best one of our favorite movies of 2025. We're gonna cover that on New Year's Eve, and then in January we are going to be celebrating my birthday eventually, and our tradition is to celebrate kind of base the month around what you want to cover on your birthday. And what I want to cover on my birthday is Titanic. I love Titanic. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So we are going to be doing a romance, hopeless romantics, romance movie sort of thing for January. And you might be saying, well, isn't that what February is for? Fuck that. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want. So I think right now,
never dead.
Love is never. Love is never dead.
Every month.
So yeah, I mean, all I have nailed down for sure right now for January is Titanic on January 10th, my 26th birthday. But beyond that, we'll nail it down, and you will know come our New Year's Eve episode. So we got that to look forward to. With that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you very much. It's I love you, homie, and a Merry Christmas here very soon. In a couple hours here.
Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas one this year. Yeah, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's almost Christmas. We're almost there. Recording wise, we're 3 hours away from Christmas, folks. And I, as an adult, I don't really feel the weight of Christmas the way I did when I was a kid, obviously. But in those wee hours, as we approach midnight on Christmas Eve, heading into Christmas, I do kind of feel it a little bit. And it's really nice. It does make me feel like a kid again. So we're kind of entering that time, which is why I would love to get that live commentary in tonight. I would love to do that. We'll see, but I would love to do it, but we'll see. With that, we will conclude this episode of Cinementalists. We'll be back next week. And remember, not a finger.